98 at heart. Mini Gen Z. But I'm Gen X, but I'm Gen Z. And what I want to say, guys, this is not about Gen X, Gen Z, Gen whatever. We are the ones with the word of the Lord, but we are here. We are at home, telling our children to go. Na hatuwezi enda. Gen Z ni watoto wetu na hatuwezi enda. We can't be quiet, church. We can't. It's not about Gen Z, it's about our lives. We didn't have internet. We didn't have these things to demonstrate in our days.
Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for choosing our show. The Gen Z have got one motto, and the motto is, when we lose our fear, they lose their strength. And indeed, it is now crystal clear that our young generation have decided that there will be no fear anymore. They have lost their fear. And what has happened? The government has lost its strength. If you remember what has happened in the last few days, after the government side voted to pass the Finance Bill 2024, the Gen Z released a program that they called 7 Days of Rage. And they started by visiting those who are their two brothers who were shot dead in Moi Avenue. And then they were to meet at night to sing Ruto Must Go as the national anthem and resist Finance Bill. Then on Sunday, they were to ensure that no member of parliament who voted yes for the Finance Bill was going to talk in the churches that they attended. And so on Sunday, there is no any member of parliament who went to their usual churches and was given a chance to talk. I saw this generation taking over churches. There was no any member of parliament. And when William Ruto wanted to show Kenyans that he's in control, he's in charge, and he went for the consecration ceremony at the ACK Church Nyahururu on Sunday. Our president was trembling, literally trembling, and Kenyans could not help but to notice that amidst the facade that our president is courageous, he was trembling with fear. And the generation that was there, because these people don't need to travel far and wide, they are found everywhere. You go to Northeastern, you go to Siaya, you go to Nyahururu, where in Coast, Lamu, you will find them. So immediately they gathered there, and William Ruto had to flee, literally, with all the security. Because the Gen Z will tell you, we have come with placards, we have come with a message. Now today, the generation has completely taken over, because in their program of 7 Days of Rage, they had declared Tuesday, a national holiday, and they requested parents to stand with them in solidarity by keeping their children away from school. Now today, I know some of you must have met this letter here, that dear parent stroke guardian, due to the ongoing maandamano, you are required to make arrangements to pick your child from school for midterm break by 10 a.m. They are expected to come back to school on Monday, 1st June 2024. Kindly make transport arrangements and NB hapo chini clear school fees. Now the Generation Z is controlling. They declared Tuesday a national holiday because that is the day that the final debate on the finance bill is going to be conducted, and then it will be followed by a vote. And they expect that it is going to be passed due to the tyranny of numbers that William Ruto controls, because many of those members of parliament have been compromised. I understand there are allegations that they were paid. Some of them do not like this bill, but they fear being reprimanded by the president. I wonder whether they were elected by the president or the people. So you've realized that they can control the country. If a president can tremble in presence or in the imagination that they're around, members of parliament can keep bay and keep off church completely because they fear they will be humiliated and they will be shut down. And then schools close for an impromptu midterm. It was not expected, and they have taken over. Now, the government is stranded because instead of trying to look into the real issues that are bedeviling this generation, they are now busy looking for the whom they think are the ringleaders. That is why we have got this mad rush that we must listen to the Gen Z. Now we need to talk. And you know why they want to talk? You've seen them saying that we need to talk. They should give us their leaders to talk to, because the government feels that the people who will be identified as the leaders are the ringleaders, are the organizers, or are the people who are masterminding this thing, the mastermind behind this. And so once they have been identified, and I said this earlier, they will be intimidated, they will be targeted, or they will be compromised. The government also realized that these people are never divided along their tribal cocoons. They're going together as a group, and they're wondering how to deal with them. And the only way they will begin, and I understand that they have begun crackdown. Now, what they think when they see a content creator or someone who is always active on Twitter spreading the message that we must resist the finance bill and updating people on what is happening, then they think that is the organizer. If you ask this generation, they will tell you that there is no any human that is their leader. There is no human sponsor. And if the government wants to know what has sponsored or who has sponsored the demonstrations, I can give them a free advice. The free advice is, yes, I know. And I know those who have sponsored this bill, or as those who have sponsored the demonstrations. And I want to reveal them to you here so that the government can begin a crackdown on them. Let them carry their guns and go for them. Number one, let the government rush and look for this person called unkept promises. This generation is sick and tired of enduring unkept promises. When they were told they were the hustlers, when the government told them they will form a government, when Ruto told them that he will form a government that will involve this generation, immediately he formed the government, he looked for his own cronies. There are no youth there. They were promised that the government will lower the cost of living. Nothing like that is happening. So number one, unkept promises. Number two, the high cost of living. Let the government look for this person called the high cost of living and deal with him. He's one of the people who is leading these demonstrations. Unemployment. Unemployment is hiding somewhere, and let Ruto, Kindiki, and IG Koome send their men to go there and look for the unemployment. He is one person who is sponsoring these demonstrations, and let them rush there very fast. Businesses cannot thrive. And so this generation is tired. If the government thought that they would be looking for someone to arrest, let them arrest, but those are just but the few who are sponsoring this bill. And the Gen Z must resist the urge to meet President Ruto. Revolutions are never achieved by negotiations. I saw this with my leader Raila Amolo Odinga. Anytime he has cornered the government, he would be called as a statesman, and they would sit down. And I love Raila Amolo Odinga, but I don't love his side, of the other side of him, where he will always put the country first and say, no, even though they have wronged me, even though my votes have been stolen, but there comes a time, in the words of George Saitoti, there comes a time when a country is bigger than an individual. And I know all the times a country is bigger than an individual. Like this country is bigger than our President William Samoei Ruto. He must listen to the people. Let them not say that there comes a time. The person who must say there comes a time this time round is not the Gen Z, it's not the many who are on the street. It is William Samoei Ruto who must understand that there comes a time when a country is bigger than an individual, and that there comes a time when a country is bigger than IMF, is bigger than the World Bank, is bigger than Mike Whitman, is bigger than White House, is bigger than Joe Biden. That William Ruto must say, because we are so many. We are the people who elect presidents and give them powers, not the people whom he's listening to. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the Gen Z must understand that when they go to the street, when they lose their fear, the government listens to them, the oppressors listen to them. For the very first time, I have seen the country rallying behind the Gen Z, and we believe that there are people who are going to help emancipate this nation. Why? They are non-tribal. They are not aligned to any party. They are just there because they have a common enemy. And how we pray that they don't look back, that they move on, and the country is with them. When the right time comes, I know the other generations will follow and they will join them. But they must lead just like they have decided, because no one has sent them. Schools have closed because tomorrow there will be this discussion, and it is expected that there is going to be a running battle. Gen Z have said, we are going to occupy parliament. We are going to see them. We want them to know that this bill is not for one person. It is going to affect all of us. Do you agree that they have taken over?